Well, thanks so much for tuning in this earnings conversation on BQ Prime. We are in conversation with Rajdip Gupta of Route Mobile. They came out with numbers which were strong revenue growth, both sequentially and YOY basis. They have upped the guidance, and when I read the brokerage notes, the brokerages believe that the 60% odd at the upper end of the band, which Route Mobile is saying, is conservative on the back of what they've done in the first half, and they might even exceed that. Let's talk to Rajdip Gupta about the pulls, not as much the pressures really, and how much what are the risks to a strong growth, say in 2023, if not 2022, because the third quarter is seasonally a very strong quarter for them. Rajdeep, it's good to enter into a very seasonally strong quarter, having done so well in the first half. What went right in quarter two particularly?
Good morning, Neeraj. I think there are lots of trigger point for us in quarter two. Like we have onboarded a few large OTT players in last quarter. Along with that, I think some of the banking customers started sending lots of traffic with us. And definitely there is a ILD price increase in last quarter in the month of July. That also helped us to grow the number. And I think overall it's a combination of our Messivian acquisition as well, where they have performed very well along with the Mr. Messaging in Europe. So if you see overall growth of Route Mobile is a combination of organic and inorganic. And I think that is the trajectory which we see. And in coming quarters, I think combined company as one company, we are going to grow. The number which the guidance which we have given, we would like to overachieve it, but we want to be a little bit conservative. What guidance of 60% we have given. I think that is what we want to focus on right now.
Yeah, sure. But I'm just trying to understand, was this a whole set of linear points which led to this performance in quarter two? I mean, 94% YOY notwithstanding, 16% sequentially is also very strong. So were there one-offs, or was this all linear? And do you expect most of these points to contribute even more in quarter three?
Definitely, yes. I think all these customers which are already onboarded in last quarter are going to continue with their volumes and their growth. Along with that, we also have a strong pipeline in this quarter as well, which will definitely lead to grow our volume and the numbers. So I think the growth is definitely linear, and we are looking forward to maintain this growth in this quarter, and especially in H2 also. And as you know, our H2 is better than H1. So it is always 45-55 ratio. So I think if you take that way, I think then the guidance of 60% is definitely what you're going to achieve in this financial year.
Okay. Rajdeep, please correct me if I'm wrong, but more often than not, I would presume that growth would be a factor of what volumes do and not as much in terms of value. But billable transactions, I believe average realization per billable transaction marginally improved because there's an ILD price increase. Do we continue to see that, or would it be a factor of volume growth alone?
So it is not the factor of volume growth. Neeraj, if you see, we are a global company and we work in various parts of the world. If you see, like if a volume increase in Germany or UK, where the pricing per transaction is over 3 cent, 2 cent, or maybe 5 cent also. If our volume increase in Indonesia, that is indirectly, I think in Indonesia is almost 12 cent per SMS market. And if you go to Bangladesh, or if you go to Telnor, Pakistan, the pricing is about 10 to 12 cent. So it all depends like which market you are focusing on and which market you are getting more traffic from. And it is nothing to related with the volume. I may do 1 million and I can generate $100,000 instead of doing 100 million and doing $1 million revenue. So our business is completely dependent on the market, which market and what pricing the market has. And that is how we see the growth.
Yeah, but sure. Within markets, Rajdeep, I would presume that price increases don't happen as much as the volume growth would happen, right? Any given idiosyncratic market, which is what I was trying to say. So
You're right.
Sorry, please finish your point.
No, I think that is exactly what we're trying to say, that there are different markets, like where if you talk about India, definitely the volume is going to play a very critical role because the price is stable now, even including ILD or the domestic price. So we definitely want to focus more on growing the existing customer volume along with the new customer. But if you go to a certain market where the price increase are like imminent, and we believe that in this quarter there might be some operator who are also going to increase prices in international market.
Okay. You mentioned that Q3 is anyways looking strong. When in the last 6 months, the couple of industry reports that I've read talk about some fairly steep growth for the CPaaS industry all the way until maybe 2026 or even beyond. Now, you are amongst the industry leaders. Would you reckon that what you are going to exhibit in FY23 is a sign of what is due to come even in the next few years? Because if the industry is growing at X, I'm presuming you will want to grow at slightly higher than that X percentage.
Definitely, yes, Neeraj. I think the industry is growing between the 20% to 30% CAGR right now. And if you see right now, our growth guidance of 60% is a combination of our organic and inorganic. So next year, definitely, the next financial year, definitely, we would love to grow more than 25 to 30% ratio, because if we achieve, say, about 3,000 crore revenue this year, and I think the next year guidance would be between 25 to 30% as a combined entity. And definitely that is more than the market growth guidance.
And you would do this growth with better operational metrics, because I see that, even in this one, right, your EBITDA was up about 22% odd sequentially. The margins have inched up about 50 odd basis points sequentially again. Do you reckon these are margins which are sustainable, or you would even better this? Or do you think the average margins would be slightly lower than what you've done in Q2?
See, definitely we want to work on our margins, and there is a loss of cost rationalization we won't want to implement with all the acquired entities which we have acquired in past. There are definitely some of the financial accounting part or support part we can move to Bangalore office or move to India office for all the acquired entity, whether it's in Colombia or in Europe. And I think from last 3 quarters, we were very focused on how to integrate and create a cross-sell upsell opportunity between the acquired entity. And we are fairly successful integrating the entire finance part as a one system along all the companies. Now it's a matter of how we bring technology and support team back to India for all this acquired entity and try to create a cost rationalization within the organization. And as far as the EBITDA margin is concerned, I think we are definitely looking out to do better because we believe in coming quarters, the new channel of communication like WhatsApp, RCS, email, or voice is going to contribute a lot in our revenue. And that is very high margin, portfolio. And if that, especially the omni-channel piece, when it's going to increase our margin and the EBITDA margin or even the gross margin is going to increase as well.
Okay, so you reckon it's possible to maintain at these levels or better?
So it all depends. There is definitely certain costs also we want to spend in, especially in marketing. So my entire focus is going to be this next few quarters to create a visibility of Route Mobile in global market. Mm-hmm. So definitely there is some kind of a cost which we want to spend in coming quarters, especially on marketing side, because it is very important for us if we are going global market and we are operating from 20 different countries. There are many events which is going to start now or it's already started happening post COVID. And I think we want to spend little bit, not little bit, at least a decent amount of money on marketing for a visibility of Route Mobile. That may create some cost impact on Route Mobile, but overall, if you see on a growth, EBITDA margin or overall gross margin or revenue, I think we are very bullish about our numbers and guidance.
Okay. Now, every quarter that I talk to you, I ask you about is there a mega deal in the offing? You've secured this preferential partnership deal with Telenor Group. In the past 2 or 3 quarters ago, we were talking about one very large deal which may get fructified as well. So first, tell us about the Telenor deal and what does that bring to the table aside of what is known, which is those 5-6 countries and the preferential treatment. Yeah. And is there anything else in the offing, Rajdip, in terms of either a large acquisition compared to what you've done thus far, or a large deal which may be in the offing which you may be working on?
So there is definitely one very, very large deal, and we have already participated in that particular RFP. And we are just waiting for the outcome of that RFP, but we are still, so it's RFP, we can't comment on that anything because we don't know the outcome of the RFP, but we are very hopeful that we might get that. But right now, I don't want to comment on that. Apart from that, I think some of the large deal which we were talking about, like last few quarters, they all are already materialized. The customers are already onboarded. We see lots of traction coming from there, and their volume is increasing day by day. In terms of acquisition, Neeraj, I think definitely we are not looking out for a large acquisition anymore. We are very keen to first of all finish all the integration of all the acquisition which we have done in past, because it is very, very important for us to make sure we create upsell and cross-sell opportunity within the organization and we integrate all of them together. There are definitely certain technology area or like to add more product offering to Root Mobile portfolio. We might do some tuck-in investment acquisition which may be in the range of 10 million to 20 million overall. So we want to spend about 150 crore combined. Probably we are looking out for two companies, one in voice, one in mobile identity. And because identity is one big area where people are looking out for a seamless authentication, and I keep on telling people that everybody's talking about the penetration of digital, adoption of digital, but again, as the digital adoption is increasing day by day, the digital fraud will also happen a lot. Like most of the people, they're not focusing on the digital fraud side, but everybody is very excited about digital growth. So we are definitely very keen to build something in this space where fintech is one area where I want to focus on, along with the digital fraud part, where I can mitigate the risk of digital fraud immediately before the fraud happens. And that is one product which we are working on, and very soon we want to announce that acquisition, but it's on very probably the last stage of diligence as of now. And let's see what is the outcome of the diligence. If all goes well, we will try to announce that acquisition very soon.
Okay, just quickly on Telenor, the preferential partnership with Telenor.
Yes. So Telenor, we are a preferential partner with Telenor for 5 countries. One is Pakistan, Myanmar, DTAC Malaysia, DTAC Thailand, DG Malaysia, and Finland, which means that we have a preferred pricing with Telenor. And they have selected 2 partners. One is Root Mobile, and there's one other CPaaS partner. And combined, it's about, if I'm not wrong, it's a deal of $7 million for a quarter. And this is a 1-quarter deal which we have got. And based on our performance, we might get for a next 1 year. So this deal is only for 1 quarter, which is this quarter.
Okay. But based on the performance, it could get pushed for 1 more year,
yes.
And then so on and so forth.
Right.
Okay. I close this interview with one question, and I understand that you are wanting to be conservative, but just purely going by arithmetic, Rajdip, what you've done in Q1 and Q2 rather, first half, and considering that a Q3 is seasonally a very strong quarter for you, are you being conservative when you're talking about 60%? You mentioned that you will probably edge closer to 60%. Most notes that I read mentioned that you are being conservative when you're talking about 60%.
So Neeraj, I think it's always better to be conservative. Like your 60% growth guidance is definitely much higher as compared to what we started with 40% growth guidance. We revised to 50% and then we revised to 60%. We would love to overachieve our guidance, and as a company from last 6 quarters, if you see our growth, like we have always overachieved our guidance, and we really want to stay with 60% growth. We'd love to overachieve, and we believe that we will overachieve. But any kind of a guidance to the market or street, I think we want to stick to 60%.
Okay. Well, we'll talk once after your strong Q3 is over to try and understand where you are on that run rate. But congratulations on a good quarter and a good first half, Rajdip. Keep up the good show. Thanks so much for speaking to us today.
Thanks, Neeraj. Thank you very much. And wish you a very happy Diwali and New Year.
To you, to Rajdip, and to your team and viewers, thanks for tuning into this conversation with the management of Root Mobile.